Water, one of the four elements. Dividing continents, it forms the seven... Okay, wait a minute. You all know what water is, right? Easy to write about, hard to film, and essential to program to make your game interesting. You know the score. You always have that obligatory water level in your video game. I find it interesting that there's a large majority who absolutely dread water levels. And to be fair, I know where they're coming from. But the best thing water levels do is break up the tedious pace. It feels unsatisfying without one. The water level became a thing with 1985 Super Mario Bros. With World 2-2. The difference of gravity, the greater quantity of Person Blue, and that music that made you realize that games can be mellow and soothing. And with obstacles and enemies, it created the blueprints for future iterations. And one of the nice things is you could stay down there as long as you wanted because Mario didn't seem to breathe apparently. The fear of drowning wouldn't be realized until Sonic the Hedgehog. The consequences of the water levels killed the pace of the speed mechanic of Sonic. And when Labyrinth Zone popped up, you really had to rely on those bubbles getting you through, and that unforgettable drowning music on standby to let you know when you're in danger. To let you relive the terror of this music, let me put this to one of the sequences in Goodfellas. Dramatic. Puts the fear of God into you and probably a child's first introduction to stress. But as I mentioned about Super Mario Bros., these levels can be very relaxing. And with their musical scores, they sometimes become the highlights of the soundtrack. Donkey Kong Country proved this with Aquatic Ambience. Kind of like it's a rewarding experience. In fact, you're listening to it right now. It seems to represent weightlessness and wonder. Along with the music of the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64's Aquarius, and Metroid Prime's Sunken Frigate. In fact, some of the most feared foes come from the deep. Big Bertha from Super Mario Bros. 3, Neptune's Resident Evil, Scala Marie from Cuphead. You know, when I think about it, one of the most interesting levels was from Super Castlevania 4. Because with that level, you try your best not to actually go into the water, as it meant instant death. I guess the backlash over water levels comes from the Water Temple and that water states from Earthworm Jim. And the whole thing of water levels is kind of old school now. But maybe there'll be a counter backlash against the hate. And reminding us what we loved about them in the first place. Giving us more appreciation for that pixelated H2O. So for next time, think like water, be like water.